I'm so sick of that same old love. That shit, it tears me up. I'm so sick of that same old love. My body's had enough.
Forgot everything. Freaked out. I forgot everything.
Benny Blanco was recently spotted at an upscale LA restaurant with a woman who fans didn't recognize. And what made it even more surreal was that Same Old Love was playing in the background, a track he helped create for none other than Selena Gomez. Sources close to the situation revealed that shortly after this footage started making rounds, Selena unfollowed one of her inner circle friends on Instagram and has since gone completely quiet on all her platforms. Stay tuned as we break down the full story. Since getting engaged in late 2023, Benny and Selena had been serving pure relationship goals. Their connection marked a shift that felt real, raw, and totally main character coded. Before this plot twist hit the timeline, they were vibing hard with a relationship built on mutual support, genuine affection, and creative sync. From red carpet looks to candid story moments, they delivered the kind of emotional transparency and softness that fans live for. Hearts were getting tapped on every post. But things took a sharp turn in March 2025 when content creator Harry Daniels uploaded a TikTok that instantly detonated across social media. The clip, with zero caption or context, showed Benny Blanco having dinner with none other than Teresa Marie at a swanky LA hotspot. Noticeably absent? Selena Gomez, who just happens to be both Benny's fiancée and one of Teresa's longtime closest friends. What could have been a chill, everyday meal suddenly had layers, especially with the chaotic choice of soundtrack. As Harry walked past their table, filming, he started casually singing along to Same Old Love, Selena's iconic breakup anthem, in what can only be described as one of the most chaotic petty moves ever caught on camera. That choice? It wasn't random. It was a deliberate throwback to the tangled web connecting Selena, Benny, and Teresa. The track, released in 2015, was co-written and produced by Benny himself, making the moment deeply ironic and emotionally loaded on so many levels. Add to that, the woman at dinner with him wasn't just any influencer. Teresa has been a part of Selena's close-knit squad for years. Seeing her in this one-on-one setup with Benny instantly raised red flags across the fandom. Benny noticed Harry filming and, in classic confident mode, laughed and asked, "Are you seriously following me now?" His calm, amused energy didn't stop the internet from spiraling into full investigation mode. While Benny gave cool and collected vibes, TikTok sleuths and stan accounts launched into overdrive, dissecting every glance, smirk, and shift in posture. The mystery of Selena's absence, the dinner itself, and the history between all three turned this clip into top-tier digital drama. With Teresa being more than just an acquaintance, having been praised by Selena publicly and worked with her professionally, this dinner instantly felt off. Social media lit up like wildfire. Some fans brushed it off as harmless, saying friends of the couple hanging out isn't that deep, but others were not buying it. The overall energy, the song, the context, it all had the timeline buzzing about hidden tensions. Was it an innocent meet-up, or was it giving betrayal energy? The comment sections became battlegrounds. On one side, "Y'all are reaching." On the other, "This is shady AF." TikTok creators with names like Selena Watchdog and Celebrity Filter were cranking out multi-part breakdowns, analyzing Benny's expressions, Teresa's body language, and the way he shifted when Harry pulled out the camera. Was it guilt, or just awkward timing? The debate raged on. Harmless hangout or quiet chaos? Twitter threads with thousands of QRTs dissected every possible detail, from the choice of venue, which happens to be Selena's all-time fave spot. So, if it were shady, why would he even go there? To what Teresa wore that night. Yep, that outfit. It had Selena's stylist's fingerprints all over it. Some fans were convinced they were secretly working on a surprise project for Selena. This TikTok ignited a whole fandom-wide investigation. Was there low-key tension between Selena and Teresa? Were Benny and Selena hitting a rough patch? The clip wasn't just a viral moment because of who was caught on cam. It was the symbolism behind every person involved. Selena Gomez represents survival, softness, and speaking her truth. She's been open about her health battles, her heartbreaks, and finding healing after years of pain. Benny Blanco brings chaotic good energy and unfiltered artistic vibes. Their relationship had been getting fan-edit treatment non-stop, with people rooting hard for them since they went public. Teresa, while not always center stage, has had serious influence as part of Selena's most trusted circle. What made this situation explode was how it blurred the lines between what fans expected from these people and how real life actually played out. It wasn't just another celeb dinner. This hit different, especially with how fiercely protective Selena's fandom had gotten during her post-heartbreak glow-up phase. After going through multiple high-profile losses in love, everyone remembered Selena speaking out about loneliness, how hard it had been for her to trust again, and how meeting Benny felt like a turning point. So when someone that close to her is seen having an intimate dinner with her fiancé and there's no context, of course the timeline freaked out. As the views on the clip soared, reactions covered every emotion on the keyboard, from memes like "Rip me" to people genuinely spiraling. Some fans even crowned Harry Daniels, the TikToker who filmed it, as the chaotic hero we never knew we needed. Others were stuck in disbelief or sadness. But what truly took this from content to full-blown cultural moment was everything that wasn't said. No one, not Benny, not Teresa, not Selena, commented. Not a single tweet, not even a cheeky story. Their silence wasn't surprising, but it left just enough room for the speculation train to go full speed. With no Notes app post in sight, that 15-second clip snowballed into a multi-day timeline takeover. The moment with Benny and Teresa turned into a case study on how celebrity relationships are perceived, discussed, and overanalyzed in today's hyper-online environment. A single meal, captured with an emotionally loaded soundtrack, became a defining pop culture moment. It reminded everyone how celebrity life constantly balances between private wins and public chaos, and, in the age of parasocial attachment, the line between canon and fan fiction gets blurry real fast. This whole saga also showed just how deep fan devotion goes, especially when it comes to someone like Selena. Her personal growth arc has inspired millions. So anything that even looks like a threat to her peace triggers the digital defense squad instantly. When you're famous, grabbing food can turn into the next plot twist in your unofficial Netflix documentary. And let's not forget, Selena's been candid about how rebuilding trust is a slow process, especially after all she's been through. Even though she's drawn boundaries around her personal life, her connections still get viewed through a magnifying glass. That's just facts. Now enter Teresa Marie, a low-key main character in this entire situation. Who is she really in Selena's world? Well, Teresa started off as Selena's executive assistant back in 2016, but that work relationship morphed fast into a real friendship, one that's lasted over a decade. Teresa's not just some background NPC, she's been a steady, behind-the-scenes presence in Selena's life, both as a confidant and a collaborator. Their connection wasn't all vibes and no receipts either. Fans remember when their 2019 swimwear line dropped. It was more than just another celeb collab. It was a full-on empowerment moment, focused on confidence, body positivity, and owning your story. It was a hit with fans who saw themselves in it. That collection sold out instantly. Comments were full of, "We stan women supporting women." Even fashion industry folks were making reaction content like, "Selena and Teresa just dismantled toxic beauty norms in one campaign." It became textbook marketing, literally, with university courses referencing it as an example of how to do inclusive branding the right way. Since then, Teresa and Selena have had low-key but consistent moments that show they're solid, whether it's shout-outs on IG, collab projects, or joint appearances. Just last March, they were seen at Anna Collins' birthday bash, another low-drama, high-significance moment that confirmed their friendship was still canon. Even as Selena's public profile kept growing, from dropping new music to launching brands to her personal glow-up, Teresa remained a grounded presence in her circle. Not flashy, not trying to ride the wave, just a solid character in Selena's narrative. Over time, Teresa Marie carved out her own spotlight moment. With over 158,000 Instagram followers and a thriving presence on OnlyFans, she's no longer just known as someone in Selena's orbit. She's a brand of her own. Long before she linked up with Selena, she had receipts in the industry, working as Kim Kardashian's personal assistant for over 2 years and collaborating with Robin Antin, the mastermind behind the Pussycat Dolls. These weren't just career milestones. They were clear signs of how close she'd always been to pop culture's inner circle. Once she and Selena began joining forces creatively, fans instantly felt the synergy, especially during their 2019 swimwear collab, centered around self-love and owning your body. With that history and her long-term presence in Selena's life, it's crystal clear that Teresa isn't just background character energy. She's been a consistent force in the storyline. When the video of Benny Blanco and Teresa at dinner first surfaced, it didn't immediately set off alarms. At first glance, it looked like a casual link-up between a clout-savvy content creator and two familiar faces. But the real plot twist came weeks later, around April 30th, 2025, when fans noticed something that shifted the entire vibe. Selena had officially unfollowed Teresa on Instagram. That digital move? A total power play. The timeline instantly caught fire. Suddenly, everything connected to the dinner footage got a second look, and the quiet unfollow turned into headline energy. In the social media cinematic universe, an unfollow from a longtime bestie with years of shared history doesn't go unnoticed. Stan sleuths immediately hit the archives, rewatching the TikTok, breaking down the vibes, and questioning what really went down during that mysterious meal. With no statement from Selena's camp, the timing of the unfollow was enough for fans to assume something real was brewing beneath the surface. For followers who had tracked Selena and Teresa's friendship arc for years, this felt like a shocking plot twist. Their public support for each other had always seemed so real. So, when Selena made a move like that, the internet asked the question out loud: what kind of tea got spilled behind the scenes? What seemed like a basic dinner encounter was now reclassified as main character drama. The resurfaced footage, combined with the Instagram fallout, turned up the heat. Suddenly, the discourse wasn't just about dinner, it was about trust, boundaries, and blurred lines within inner circles. What made it even messier? The unfollow only went one way. Selena dipped. Teresa? Still following both Selena and Benny. In this hyper-analyzed online world, where every click, like, and unfollow is dissected like evidence from a crime scene, that kind of imbalance screams, something's up. Naturally, fan theories exploded. Had there been a falling out? Was this the aftermath of something major? Was Teresa trying to keep it cute while Selena had already walked away emotionally? Some fans interpreted Teresa's continued follows as a peace offering, or maybe confusion on her part. Others saw it as pure optics, trying not to escalate things further by staying silent and still connected. Either way, the internet clocked it, and it became part of the larger conspiracy web fans were building. Longtime stans who had rooted for their friendship were now re-watching every past moment, wondering where things might have gone off the rails. No one said a word publicly, which only deepened the mystery and gave the chronically online more time to build wild theories and drop hot takes. As expected in the world of celebrity chaos, the combo of the dinner video and the social media unfollow created the ultimate viral firestorm. What started as casual vibes turned into potential scandal territory. TikTok, Twitter, and T-pages everywhere were now debating boundaries, friendship rules, and relationship red flags. The theory that gained the most traction, that Benny might have been cheating on Selena with Teresa, and that dinner was step one in what fans called a hidden situationship. Not new territory for celebrity drama, but still messy AF. Then came the receipts that fanned the flames. Fans discovered Benny had allegedly subscribed to Teresa's OnlyFans account. Not a great look considering her connection to his fiancée. Even worse, rumors started flying that Teresa had been seen visiting Benny's place on multiple occasions when Selena was reportedly out of town. But the kicker? Gossip accounts claimed Benny and Teresa checked into a hotel under the alias Benny T, with Teresa seen leaving at 4:52 a.m. That detail alone sent the timeline into total meltdown mode. The hashtag Benny Blanco cheated on Selena started trending, turning the situation into a full-fledged media event. Everyone from gossip blogs to entertainment news outlets picked up the story, amplifying the drama to the next level. Of course, some fans tried to stay grounded. They floated the theory that maybe Benny and Teresa were actually planning a surprise. Maybe something sweet like a proposal moment, a birthday, or even a bachelorette bash for Selena. After all, Benny and Selena were engaged. He could have been planning a proposal or working on a surprise. That's what some fans said. Maybe they were prepping her bachelorette party, one commenter posted. Let's not jump to the worst conclusion. Others reminded everyone that Teresa had been part of Selena's world for years, so it wasn't automatically shady for her to be tight with Benny, especially if it was for something behind the scenes and thoughtful. But the truth is, no one really knows the dynamics behind closed doors. And that mystery, the gray area, is what made this entire situation so compelling. Yes, there were innocent explanations. But there was also plenty of room for high-level mess. And while Teresa being on OnlyFans is 100% valid, get that bag, Queen. For some followers, it complicated things. The stigma is real, especially among the judgmental crowd online. People started spinning theories about her motives, boundaries, and intentions, projecting everything they felt onto a situation with no confirmed facts. Because in the celebrity ecosystem, even the smallest actions, a like, an unfollow, a dinner, get interpreted like ancient scrolls. Parasocial relationships turn fans into emotional stakeholders, and when your fave moves even an inch off script, it hits like a plot twist in your favorite series. For someone like Selena Gomez, privacy is almost a fantasy. Her life has been so transparently shared, from heartbreaks to healing, that any moment not directly explained feels like an open-ended cliffhanger. The line between real life and fan expectations is so blurred now that even Tuesday night dinner becomes headline energy. The rise of stan culture has flipped the whole celebrity media landscape. Fandoms aren't just passive observers anymore. They're investigative units, storytellers, and defense squads all in one. I just know my Selinator mutuals are going to be up all night doing the Lord's work, one user tweeted, already deep in thread mode. And it's true. The distinction between fan, reporter, and digital detective has practically vanished. Some stan accounts have more credibility in pop culture reporting than traditional outlets. When TMZ finally picked up the story, the quote tweets were brutal. "We've been new. Twitter broke this 3 days ago. Stan culture doesn't just follow the story. It creates the story. It shapes the narrative as it's happening." What made this entire saga hit different is that all three people involved, Selena, Benny, and Teresa, have built public images that feel authentic. No vague PR statements. No Instagram clarifications. Just silence. And that silence? Louder than any drama. Selena is known for being emotionally raw and honest, especially when it comes to love and friendship. Benny's whole vibe is chaotic, good energy mixed with loyalty and quirk. And Teresa, though less visible, has always been positioned as a trusted inner circle member. So when the unexpected unfolded, it didn't feel like just another gossip moment. It felt personal for fans. Whether this ends up being minor friendship tension or a major chapter shift in Selena's life story, it's already become one of the most emotionally resonant fan-discussed moments of the year. What made it sting more? Selena's track record. She's been so open about struggling with trust. How long it took to feel safe again after past relationships that left scars. Her fans lived through her heartbreaks with her. They witnessed the glow-up, the years of solitude, and then, finally, the love story with Benny. So anything, even a whiff of betrayal, triggers deep-rooted reactions. This wasn't just about drama. It was about watching someone work so hard to rebuild, only to have that peace feel threatened. Then came May 7th, 2025. Selena posted a photo dump to Instagram. Little blast from the past because I'm lying horizontal and reminiscing. Buried in that carousel? A photo with Teresa Marie. Around the same time, she shared an Insta story. Blanco playing with their dog and his nephew. Pure domestic vibes. It didn't come with a caption or context, but for fans watching closely, it said everything. This was Selena's signature conflict resolution style. No notes app apologies, no messy subtweets, just subtle posts that let her audience know where she stood. It's on brand. Selena has always preached transparency, loyalty, and emotional honesty in her relationships, romantic or platonic. She's shared her journey through bipolar disorder, therapy, heartbreak, and healing. Her convo with Jay Shetty, her lyrics, her rare beauty mission, they all reflect a woman who's been doing the work. And while no one's given an official explanation, the timeline of events, the unfollow, the silence, the subtle reappearance of Teresa in her feed, suggests that the drama, if there was drama, may have already been resolved. Longtime Selenators clocked it right away. This isn't the first time she's needed to take space. Remember the Francia Raisa moment? They unfollowed, then reconnected, because healing isn't linear, and boundaries can be both loving and temporary. She takes space, she processes, and then comes back when she's ready, one fan wrote. That's actually healthy AF. Mental health advocates within her fandom praised the approach. This is what emotionally intelligent conflict resolution looks like. One popular TikToker with over 3.2 million followers, who specializes in celebrity psychology, broke it down. She's showing you what boundaries, maturity, and therapy in action really looks like. Notice how she didn't drag anyone. That's growth. It's also important to remember, Selena's relationship with Benny came after 5 years in her self-described single era. A time of solitude, healing, and rebuilding her identity, outside the noise. In celebrity years, that's an eternity, and fans were invested in her finding peace. Benny wasn't just a boyfriend, he represented a new chapter, one built on mutual love, artistic partnership, and genuine emotional safety. That's why fans are so protective. So, yes, every dinner sighting, every unfollow, every social post gets turned into a plot twist. Because when you're a global icon like Selena Gomez, you're not just living life, you're living it under a microscope, where every move becomes content. And in the end, this whole saga wasn't really about dinner or follows. It was about timing, projection, and the deep emotional connection between a celebrity and her fandom. What we just witnessed. A case study in modern fame, and the impossible task of navigating real relationships when the entire world thinks it's part of your story. For Selena, maintaining even a sliver of privacy has always been like walking a tightrope in a windstorm. She's been raw and real about her complicated relationship with fame, her mental health journey, and her deep-rooted trust issues. And still, she continues to move with grace and main character energy, even when the internet wants to turn every micro-moment into a plot twist. Rather than fueling the fire, Selena chooses her moments carefully, dropping a throwback post here, a quiet appearance there, communicating without ever needing to explain. It's not about silence out of fear, it's silence with intention. Because at the end of the day, people evolve. Relationships change. And sometimes something as small as an Instagram unfollow doesn't mean betrayal or tea. It might just mean boundaries were needed, the vibes shifted, or life did what life always does, moved forward. In any friendship circle, even the ride or dies, tension can build, communication can break, or people naturally drift. But in the world of celebrity, where nothing stays sacred, those very normal changes get turned into headline-worthy chaos. Selena Gomez's handling of this whole saga, from the TikTok dinner clip to the unfollow and reappear arc, is a true reflection of her growth. She's not playing into the noise. She's not giving the timeline a notes app speech or a messy IG story. She's just living, choosing peace, choosing joy, choosing the people who matter. As of May 13th, 2025, the vibes are giving closure. Her social media shows she's good with Benny. Teresa's still visible in her world. Whatever happened, if anything even did, looks like it's been addressed. No mess, no drama, no scorched earth behavior, just quiet resolution. The theory that Benny Blanco cheated on Selena Gomez with Teresa Marie, as viral as it got, it's still looking like peak speculative fiction. 0 receipts, all vibes. Let's not forget, it all started with 2 events. A TikTok showing a dinner between Benny and Teresa, and an unfollow from Selena weeks later. 2 breadcrumbs that got turned into an entire storyline by the algorithm and emotionally invested fans. Some stans immediately screamed, "Villain arc unlocked." Others called for some collective grounding, like, seriously, touch grass. And without any official word from Selena, Benny, or Teresa, the whole timeline has been left in interpretive dance mode, trying to make meaning from vibes. Right now, the cheating rumor looks like just that. A rumor, an internet lore moment with no actual facts to back it up. But what this saga does show is how fast narratives spread, how quickly assumptions become content, and how silence, intentional or not, can echo louder than any statement ever. Could this entire arc? A masterclass in the reality of trying to protect relationships in a hyper-public world, where every move, every like, every meal is up for public dissection. What's undeniable is how fragile public perception can be, how quickly the algorithm can turn a low-key moment into a trending controversy, and how, even in the absence of truth, people will build entire timelines based on a vibe. As 2025 continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's relationship is still standing. And as for what comes next, that's their story to tell, not ours to assume. And that's a wrap on this video. But trust, the internet never sleeps, and the tea is never truly cold. Hit one of the cards on your screen and keep going, because there's always more to uncover in the cinematic universe of pop culture.